Boss FZ-1W watercraft pedal is a combination of efforts of the Boss engineers who studied a bunch of many circuits of 60s vintage fuzz pedals while they were working on the development of the Boss FZ-1W watercraft and tone bender collaboration pedal with Solar Sound from UK. Boss has decided to release the FZ-1W pedal, which is, how to say, more sustainable model where they can actually mass produce and not in limited quantities. And this is not based on any vintage kind of like model. It is their own original take on that 60s vintage fuzz kind of sound. This uses analog circuitry, high quality buffer inside. Those who know about fuzz, there's always talk about using like germanium transistors or silicon transistors. A lot of them like to use germanium, such as in the TB2W we're using germanium transistors. But problem with germanium is that it's very susceptible to temperature changes, you know. So once the temperature becomes colder or something, the tone sort of like changes as well. So with the FZ-1W, they've opted to use silicon transistors instead, which is not affected by, you know, like temperature changes and stuff, and it's very stable, and you can get a good tone anytime, anywhere. You just plug in and just dial in and the sound is there already. But they've tuned it in a way it's such warm and fuzzy, you know, and woolly that you don't really think about whether it's germanium or not. It's just a really great 60s kind of fuzz sound. And with all watercraft pedals, there is a mode switch. Here you have a vintage mode and a modern mode. The vintage mode, as you know, sounds more like a 60s kind of fuzz, and the modern mode gives you more fatness and mids to really cut through the mix and all. So let's hear some sounds from this fuzz pedal. Before I start playing, I'd like to explain that I've got the FZ-1W going into the input of the IR200. And the IR200 is set to kind of like a British stag kind of sound with some drive. I'll just play you a little bit so that you know when the pedal's off how it sounds. So engaging the fuzz pedal, everything at noon in vintage mode. Turning up the gain to about 3 o'clock. This is where I kind of like it. And it's got a lot of dynamics involved, you know, like if I roll down the volume control, just watch how this cleans up and turns into like an overdrive. Okay, this is full up. If you turn it all the way down, you get kind of like almost an overdriven kind of tone. And the tone control in the middle also adjusts the brightness to taste. And if you go all the way full up, let's see how it sounds. Let's hear the sound if you switch to the modern mode. You can hear the difference. Maxed out.